Welcome back to The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Got him in here, Brian Spitz. He comes in every Monday, gives us some great insight, brings on great guests, talking about what's happening in the investment real estate front. He's with a really an outstanding firm, BigStateHomebuyers.com, and which provides seamless opportunities for individuals to invest and build their cash flow situation. Brian, as always, welcome to the program, and you've got a guest for us today.
Yes, good morning, Kevin. This morning I brought in an agent from Carrington Realty. Her name is Amber Carrillo, and I wanted to bring her in because she has a lot of experience working with investors and helping investors set goals for their strategy. And she is also really privy to what's going on in the market right now, both for properties that are listed, properties for regular consumers, and also investment property. So welcome to the show.
Very good. Welcome, yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
How long have you been in the industry?
This is my 10th year in real estate in Houston.
10th year.
Yes.
And is there a certain geographical area that you're hot in, if you will?
Actually, I am the territory manager and broker for Carrington Real Estate Services. So I have 40 agents that work with me, and we cover every area from Conroe to Galveston.
Very good. Brian?
Well, tell us a little bit about your experience with real estate investors. You just wrote a blog for us about setting goals and different types of real estate investment strategies, which you can find at BigStateHouseDeals.com and probably on Kevin's site.
Yep.
But tell us just a brief synopsis of what you wrote about.
All right. Well, I wrote about just having goals when you get started with real estate investing. Just as you're setting goals in your personal life, say you're wanting to run a marathon, you have to start somewhere. You start off by walking. You set those goals, put them down and put them in front of you so that you know what you're working towards. And it's the same in real estate investing. You must have some goals in mind. You've got to have some financial goals for where you're wanting to go with these assets and with these investments. And also with your cash, you have to realize, are you wanting to get the most that you can from your money, the quickest return? And you can do that by possibly buying and flipping. You know, the prices are going up here in Houston quickly. They've been going up for the last 2 years from the latest statistics that HAR put out. So that's still an opportunity here. I don't know how much longer that's going to be an opportunity due to the fact that the prices are rising and there's a ton of competition in the market.
Right. I see more competition right now than I've seen in the past 8 years I've been in business. Certainly the most since 2006 and 2007.
Brian, would you say that competition is driven a lot by people that simply had a difficult time finding opportunities in other arenas? Ostensibly, your field, this field is a low overhead field. You know, you got to be able to make connections money-wise, but you don't need a lot of, overhead for location and those type of things for your own business side. Explain why do you think that's the case?
Well, I think inventory has been low for a while, and there's a lot of demand. So a lot of it is just the law of supply and demand. We have a lot of new jobs created here in Texas, especially in Houston. So a lot of people moving here, and then a lot of people who are watching the real estate market kind of get excited about the way it's moving, and they are jumping on board with putting their money in investment property. There's a lot of demand for property in certain residential areas like the Heights, and so you just see a lot of people taking advantage of what's been lower mortgage interest rates for both their investment side and for their personal assets.
Yeah, Heights always seems to be consistently hot because it's such a charming, neighborhood. I guess that's part of it. In your view, when you look at the situation out there, kind of give us that panoramic overview of what Carrington sees as, hot areas geographically in the Houston market.
Well, in the Houston market, it's always said that it is about location, location, location. And that's true no matter what market you're in. As far as the Houston market, the inner loop has historically been known as the hottest market and continues to be, as well as the Galleria area. So those are the areas where you will see the greatest appreciation in Houston. And it really does not matter if you're buying a cottage that was built in the 1930s, or if you're buying a multifamily property that was built in the 1940s, or if you're buying brand new construction, a new townhome, per se.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Brian?
Yeah, and tell us As far as investors, what do you see going on the open market? I know that you work with a lot of banks and list a lot of foreclosures, so you see a lot of investment buyers. So what are you seeing right now as far as that's concerned?
We do. We work with about 5 primary large financial institutions. And so we personally in our local office carry about 150 assets at all times. We have one particular institution that is just flooding us with assets right now. And there is an influx of investors in the market. And I can't tell you that they're all local or that they're all out of state. It's a great mixture of investors. And we have a new hedge fund that we're working with, a financial group. And they're coming in to buy 500 houses here locally, all cash, closing in 30 days. And that's kind of, the scenario that's going on.
Yeah. Would you say a lot of that has to do with the fact that, even though nationwide there were some pretty bizarre things that happened as far as bubble busting, but Houston remained a certain level of consistency and calm in all of that? Do you feel like that makes people who may have invested in New York and California and Florida in years past say, hey, maybe we ought to put our money in a place like Houston because although the amounts in value still seem a little high, they're not the crazy speculative high that we saw before, and it just tends to be a more stable environment. Talk a little bit about that.
That's exactly right. Our the price of living is so reasonable here, and it's much lower than any of the larger metropolitan areas. So, and also we have great industries here that support our local economy, such as the gas and oil industry and energy industry. And we have a lot of people flooding the market right now and coming in with the new campus that's being built up in the Woodlands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. We have offices across the United States, and we're seeing an influx of investors also in Arizona and Florida.
Yep. Brian, I'm sure you heard about this. Governor Perry is spending $600,000 just in the state of New York doing commercials encouraging businesses to move from the state of New York to Texas. He spent several $100,000 in other states as well. I mean, that's going to only going to continue to make Houston one of the hottest places when it comes to properties here, I would think, nationwide.
Yeah, I mean, one of the interesting things, if you want to look it up, is the concept of the Texaplex, and I think it's a Texas promotion, but they have videos that talk about all the population growth and the economic growth that's going to happen in these major metropolitan cities of Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio over the course of the next 15 years. So, how long the market will stay this hot is hard to predict, but the general trend of a growing economy in Texas, barring some outside circumstance, looks that it'll be steadily growing over the course of the next 15 years easily.
Amber, your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. Just to give you a little insight on local numbers as far as the real estate market goes, when I jumped into real estate in January of 2004, we had approximately 50,000 homes available on the market. Today, we have 19,000 active single-family listings, and it's only taken them an average of 3.4 months to deplete all of those listings. So those are going quickly, and in turn, rentals for investors who are looking to buy and hold and rent those properties out for a length of time, rentals are staying on the market for an average of 1.2 months right now.
Yep. Amber Carrillo, she's with Carrington Real Estate. That's Carrington, Carrington, realestate.com. Brian Spitz, he's here every Monday, kind of navigating us through what's happening in the real estate front. He's with bigstatehomebuyers.com, and delighted to have you both on today.
Thank you so much.
You.
Do want to remind you, of course, Brian's content can also be found at priceofbusiness.com, and he does a great blog over there at bigstatehomebuyers.com. When we come back, we're going to have more for you. We want to encourage you to stay tuned to it right here on The Price of Business.